Hey guys, my name is Tommy. Welcome back to the channel. Starfinder's been out for a couple weeks now. Aliens walk among us. Newsflash, kids, they've been walking around us for a little while. Today on the Forgotten Races review, we're going to continue talking about Starfinder core races that previously existed in Pathfinder. Today, it's all about the androids. Superficially speaking, androids are identical to humans, and sometimes it can be hard to differentiate the two. In the right light, they have a metallic sheen in their eyes and tattoo-esque circuitry all over their skin. The body of an android is 100% artificial, but these guys do possess a soul. The body of an android will last forever and ever and ever and ever, barring some physical tragedy. But every 100 years in Pathfinder, an android will shut down, allowing a new soul to enter its body as the soul that inhabited it previously proceeds unto the great beyond. In Pathfinder, the androids come from Numeria, where they emerge from these scattered alien ruins, crashed starships, things of that nature that are pretty common in Numeria. In Starfinder, androids were created to serve humans until one day they rebelled, leading the Pact Worlds to recognize these guys as fully independent, sentient beings. Androids come from all over the place in the sci-fi universe, which means these guys can be role-played pretty much any way you want to. We're looking at anything from the Borg or Mr. Data from Star Trek or the synths from Fallout 4 all the way to the Terminator. Pretty much you've got no limit here. Whatever you want to do with these guys is going to make sense. If your GM sends you on too many fetch quests or too many delivery quests, just tell them to bite your shiny metal ass and play Bender. Actually, that would probably be pretty fun. Okay, yeah, I'm doing it at some point. So let's break down these robots, shall we? Androids get a +2 bonus to dexterity and intelligence, but a -2 penalty to charisma. They are medium creatures with a base speed of 30 feet, begin play speaking common, and with high intelligence may choose any language they want. Androids get a +2 racial bonus on perception checks, which is probably the most rolled skill in the Pathfinder RPG. Looks wonderful to me. However, they also take a -4 penalty on sense motive checks, which is probably like the second or third or fourth, perhaps, depending on your game, most rolled skill in the Pathfinder RPG. That one stings a little bit. Androids have dark vision and can see perfectly in the dark, as well as low light vision. They're also treated as both humanoid and constructs for the purposes of things like Bane or Favorite Enemy or anything that checks what type they are when it tries to target them. They also get a +4 racial bonus on saves against mind-affecting effects, paralysis, poison, and stun effects, and are never subject to fatigue or exhaustion, as well as being immune to disease and sleep effects. However, they can never gain morale bonuses, but are immune to fear and emotion-based effects. So that's a pretty mixed bag. It really stings that these guys can't get morale bonuses. I see that they're not subject to fatigue or exhaustion, so I'm thinking, okay, let's build a barbarian that can just rage cycle forever. Then I realize he gets no benefit from raging. However, the flavor makes sense, so I think I can find a way to live with it and move on. An android's body is infused with these little tiny robots called nanites. Once per day, as an immediate action, an android can get a bonus equal to 3 plus their character level on any one d20 roll. You have to declare this before the roll is made. However, holy crap, at a high enough level, that's a +23 or higher if you're playing epic levels on any one d20 roll. If you need something to succeed once per day, you've got this. Go nanites. So how do we play these guys? Honestly, I'm at a little bit of a loss here. Like I said before, I see the not subject to fatigue or exhaustion bit, and I'm thinking, okay, let's go down to Barbarian Town. Then I realize again that you can't rage with these guys effectively, so that's pretty much off the table. However, as we discussed before, androids getting bonuses against mind-affecting stuff, paralysis, poison, being immune to disease and sleep effects, things like that, means an android makes a pretty good frontline guy or a healer or any member of the party that you're really relying on to get the job done. Because you can't really harass him, you can't really do anything to bring him down, short of just beating him overhead with a club until he dies. On top of that, the +4 to any d20 roll once a day at level 1 that scales with your level just goes to further push my point that an android can fill pretty much any niche that you need him to fill. You could even make him a party face, throwing out the -4 to sense motive. We're adding a +23. I think we can figure out how people work eventually. To be honest with you, I think the best part about playing an android is the role-playing aspect. Like I said before, androids come from all walks of sci-fi life, and thus, we can play them in Pathfinder pretty much however we want without being looked at funny. Now, I've said it before and I'll say it again, any class can be played by any race, and you can do just fine. We're talking halfling barbarians that are still cutting down people, orc wizards that are just as smart as everybody else, things of that nature. However, it's very rare that we see a race that can be role-played in 5 or 6 different ways. We're talking maybe you are the android ranger or inquisitor that's been sent from point A to point B, wherever that happens to be in your game, to hunt down a certain person. Or even an android bard or skald or paladin or something leadership-y who sits on a ship and has some sort of leadership position, not unlike Data in Star Trek. Between here and there, you've got all these other niches you can fill, and the possibilities are pretty much endless. That I really like. No two androids are created equal. As a matter of fact, it kind of bums me out that androids who have the constructed trait don't have different stat bonuses depending on what they were constructed for. Would a battle droid not have a bonus to like strength and con? Whereas a tactical droid might be intelligence, wisdom. I think if I ever have to GM for an android, I'm going to allow them to pick whatever stat bonuses they want, because I don't see any reason why that which is constructed can't be constructed in a certain way. Another thing I want to talk about is the technology level that obviously comes with playing an android in a fantasy setting. I know I've had a lot of GMs, and I too have been that GM that have kind of balked at even the notion of a firearm in your game, and now suddenly someone's playing a synthetic humanoid with little robots running around inside him. I say let your player go for it. If you have a huge problem with the fact that this guy is constructed as a robot, essentially, let him be like an awakened golem or some kind of lesser construct like that. Basically the same concept, just a little more fantasy flavored, a little less sci-fi flavored. Works just as well, and that can fit in pretty much any game. So what do you guys think about androids? Do they have a place in Pathfinder? Have you played them in Pathfinder? Have you played them in Starfinder? And if so, how's that working out? Let me know in the comments. We'll keep the conversation going. Be sure to like and subscribe for more videos. Next race video comes out next Monday.